Media globalization and the power that good storytelling and imagery can have over people's outlooks may be exemplified by a case study of film in China. The country is currently governed by the Communist Party of China, which mandates strict censorship on all media, including film. However, many have been able to subvert the censors and make their voices heard. Spreading important messages through any possible medium gives credence to Manuel Castell's theory of networked publics, and Rain and Salem's interpretation of media theory as a catalyst for social change. Networked publics connect in what is known as the public sphere, a space for dialogue and autonomous opinion of all social actors. In Chinese film, that sphere is at once domestic and foreign, state-sponsored, and independent. What you are about to see are 5 examples of films that have circulated in the Chinese public sphere and contributed to ideas of social change. The beginning of the Great Revival was a 2011 production sanctioned by the Chinese government to depict the history and celebrate the 90th anniversary of the Chinese Communist Party. After it was released in theaters, state-sponsored media boasted of mind-boggling ticket sales. However, as ordered by the state, schools and government offices had to buy large numbers of tickets, and people were given time off to go see it. The Chinese media was not allowed to criticize the film, but Western media dubbed it as a propaganda epic. Behind the propaganda, though, was perceived to be an unintended message, as identified by this Chinese Twitter user. A different interpretation of history is explored in The Blue Kite, an example of the scar drama tendency that arose after China's Cultural Revolution. This particular film was directed by Zhuang Zhuangtian, who was banned from working for almost a decade after its release. Told from the perspective of a young boy, Tieto, it traces the fate of a Beijing family and their neighbors through the political and social upheavals of 1950s and 60s China. The producers realized during the film's production that the Chinese government would ban it, so they smuggled the negative to Japan, completed post-production there, and sold the rights worldwide. Beijing reacted against its director, but could not control the film's circulation and awards in international festivals, along with its bootlegging and circulation throughout China. If the Great Revival was government propaganda, The Blue Kite and other such scar films were slated to be propaganda against the government, posing a threat to the existence of communism. Meiji Street, a 2006 documentary film directed by O Ning, is an example of citizens raising their voices and utilizing the power of alternative media outlets in reaction to state activity. In order to improve traffic and facilities for the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games, the municipal government launched a project to widen Meiji Street from 8 meters to 25 meters. Many of the original residents living alongside the street faced the demolition of their homes and relocation to other areas of the city. The film is a journey of a few of these residents trying to protect their rights, compiled from many video clips taken by the victims themselves, with cameras given to them by the director. Their struggles humanized Meiji Street, a normal urban space, and gave it new meanings, catching the attention of the world with the case of both the dark side of globalization and development and the human ability to persevere against adversity and indifference. James Cameron's Avatar is the most commercially successful movie in the history of China. Whatever the director's original intentions, Avatar has been given a Chinese interpretation that is deeply rooted within the country's rapidly changing society, related to the conflict between progress and preservation. As proven by the documentary Meiji Street, though most confrontations do not lead to dramatic loss of life, as in Avatar, they almost always result in arrests and destruction of homes and livelihoods. Resentment towards developers, who are generally connected to the local government, runs deep among the population. Once the movie Avatar was given the new anti-government interpretation, it was quickly picked up by the Chinese masses, and though versions of the film were consequently banned by censors, the spark was already there. The power of film, even foreign film, is evident in its effective dissemination of ideas and sentiments. And finally, in 2011, American filmmaker Alison Klayman released her documentary chronicling 3 years in the life of controversial Chinese artist and dissident Ai Weiwei, bringing to the world his personal story and the essential humanity behind his brand in international media. Ai Weiwei creates works of art through a political lens, simultaneously condemning China's socio-political failings, yet trying to frame the country in a way that sensitizes Westerners to its complex issues. In the documentary, Clayman explores his art, its message, and the life of a political dissident. This partnership between actors in a very public sphere has touched hearts and raised awareness all over the world of the context in which Ai Weiwei is working. In sum, when examined through a cinematic lens, media globalization might be described as actors collaborating in an increasingly interconnected world to inform, inspire, and initiate social change, both directly and indirectly. Every message must have a medium, and imagery is an especially powerful medium.